What are we doing?
A show.
Greetings, star-crossed lovers out there. Troy to the Max Extreme here.
Dinosaur Neil.
And Ghost Hunter Dave.
And together, we lovingly form this triangle of love as Imperius Rex.
Well, Troy, it's Valentine's Day. Spookiest time of the year, as we all know.
That's right.
So, we thought, why not stop some hearts and engorge some parts?
Yes. Very good.
I like that.
Right on the spot there. So we thought, let's do it. Let's just wrap up a couple loose ends that we had from previous sexually explicit episodes of Imperius Rex.
Yeah.
We're gonna take a look back at Sex Criminals.
Yes.
Volume 6, we left it hanging. It's
That's
been
right.
edging along. We're also going to take another look at our friend Stjepan Sejic's work. Some sloppy seconds on fine print here. Along with Bloodstain, a webcomic that his wife, Linda, makes on her own.
Nice.
And then, you know what? We're gonna drive it home with the money shot.
Very good to end with that one.
I think that's the best way to do it. And I had this costume laying around from Halloween, and I thought, well, we're going to go into Batman for quite a while. This might be the only chance that I have to put it on for the show. So let's do a Valentine's Day episode. And like all holiday episodes here on Imperius Rex, it wouldn't be the holidays if I didn't come bearing gifts.
No! Last time this happened,
Yes.
it was something else.
Something else. In the words of Tobey Maguire, it was something else. You know what? I'm going to let you choose, because it doesn't matter. They're both just a compilation of penises.
I want the smaller one, if you don't mind then.
All right. I was going to say good things come in small packages, but packages in this case is not the apt word.
Let's see. I like how these have been sitting down here since Christmas too, but
Yeah.
we just finally got around to them.
Well, I didn't want to overload you on
Hey.
Christmas.
What Justin we were talking about earlier before the show.
I thought I heard you mention something about that.
Lady Killer, I love this book.
Look at that.
It's amazing, and the Joelle Jones is amazing.
Yeah.
Star.
Great artist, great writer, it turns out.
Yeah.
Great
And
person.
Essex County.
Oh.
Jeff Lemire.
Jeff Lemire. My
Fudge.
favorite Jeff Lemire book.
Fudge me.
Wow.
I think you'll like it. It's a lot of farm tales.
I like it. I was
Boys
on a farm once.
Growing up on the farm.
Wow.
And to stay with tradition, here's a picture of my penis.
I really thought it was cool.
Yeah. Like that was your phone wallpaper for some
Yeah.
reason.
I didn't have time to mock up a Valentine's Day card. Maybe St. Patrick's Day. We'll see how it goes.
Top of the penis.
Top of the penis, dude. We should also mention that as this is airing on Valentine's Day, it was just Dinosaur Neil's birthday.
It was.
So happy
Yesterday.
birthday, Dinosaur Neil.
Also didn't get you anything.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Well, if the Imperius Rex community wants to wish Neil a happy birthday,
You should have done
They
it.
2
can do
days
that.
ago.
Yes. Should we start with fine print since it is on the top of the spinner rack?
Do it.
Why don't we?
All right.
Yeah.
Hot off our call with the author and creator himself,
Yeah.
old Stephen Sidekick.
And boy, is he a real treat. What a honest to God gentleman.
I don't think
Love it.
anyone went into that call expecting to have such a wonderful time.
No,
It was so good.
you always have that fear. It's like, oh, what's it gonna be like?
What if the creator of Sunstone is weird? What if this guy's a pervert?
We immediately fell into it, like
Yeah.
right away. Like
Yeah.
he could just sit in my spot. You guys wouldn't even know the difference.
No. So let's jump on to his other book, one of the other books that he's publishing right now, Fine Print. Another tantalizing erotic romance story. This one involving succubuses and cupids and stuff.
Yeah.
But not lacking the heart that came with, like, Sunstone. And a very, like, real, personal connection to the characters.
Yeah, so when I was talking to you about this before, I was trying to, like, describe how I felt about these books. So, like, this is, like, what you'd picture as, like, the romance novel with the big burly guy with, like, the Fabio looking guy on the cover, like, whatever I've never even read any of those, but, like, it's what I would want if I did read them. Like, it is straight up just a story about, like, love and relationships. And it is...
But with, like, a demon kink.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
it.
They've got weird, like, it's got that kink and smut to it a little bit, but, like, overall, you're just getting invested in these, like, characters' relationships and romances. It's like, it is a romance novel, and I never would have been like, I'm into those.
There are so many tonal changes in this where it starts out and there's like a demon lady. And you're like, oh, okay, this is odd. And then it'll like shift gears and it's about this young woman and her relationship with this photographer.
Yeah.
And it goes on that for a long time to the point where you almost forget that you were initially reading a story about like succubuses and cupids.
Yeah.
And then when that comes back in, it's almost jarring. You're like, oh yeah, that's what this is.
Yeah.
So, like, you get so swept up in just like the normal, not mundane, but like slice of life of everyday people that you forget like, oh, this is like a full-on fantasy type of thing too that it's going to evolve into.
And it's made all the more interesting for it. So like, I could have read just a graphic novel based on this couple and their trials and tribulations through a relationship essentially. But like, it all ties back to this more supernatural thing, which kind of is like the driving force behind it and why they're telling you this story. And it's incredible.
It almost had like a Monsters, Inc. vibe, where like the monsters are like trying to get like the eroticism meter to the top by what they're doing, and they're going around to like the mortal plane and like trying to like make a connection with these people, these certain people that kind of draw them in because that will like boost their own...
Yeah, it's pretty much to like get them like promoted kind of in like this weird succubus like level like thing. And so what I love that Sejic does in this too is like it's got like named gods in it. Like Hermes is there and he's got like the wings on his feet, and like Hades is there, but like they're not like... But it's mixing all of like these weird gods together in just this one kind of weird uniform god verse essentially, which is really cool because it's like got little familiar elements that you know, and like they even talk about their like Hermes talks about his past life of being a messenger, but like that's not what he's doing now. Like he's just doing his own thing.
He's doing
now.
DoorDash.
Yeah.
That's gotta stop. Alright. Ironically, I think a couple of the characters from this pull over from one of his wife's books called Underworld, which also deals with a lot of these mythical gods. Didn't read that one, but I did read Bloodstain, which is another kind of... I don't know what I would call it. It's like a weird meet cute. It's basically about this crazy, like, Reanimator-style mad scientist that is looking for a lab assistant, and the first volume pretty much exclusively just focuses on this one woman who's just trying to like get by. She's living with her sister, she's strapped for cash, she's failing every job she takes, and they're just barely making do. And she's like, alright, I'll take this job, I'll apply for this weird job in this castle with this Frankenstein guy. And she gets there and meets him, and like it's just... I don't know what to make of it. It's kind of like, it's a slice of life type of comedy with like hints of romantic elements that may transpire, but it's just, it could go anywhere. He could end up being a serial killer. They could just fuck for like a whole volume. I don't know where it's going. Nothing would really surprise me at this point. But right now, she's just kind of like getting to know him. She's like made herself at home in this lab that she's going to be working at with him, and they're just kind of starting their relationship. We don't know what he's doing yet by the end of the second volume, so it's slow going, but it's never really boring. It's just kind of taking its time. Linda does all the writing and the artwork on it, and it's amazing. I mean, what a power team those two.
Right.
Yeah.
It's refreshingly different from what I normally read, so it was just like, I'm just gonna kind of get lost in this weird fairy tale, maybe romance type of thing. I don't know what it is, but I'm intrigued to see where it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Same thing with fine print too.
Yeah.
Like that's only just what's been released so far, but there's apparently more coming.
Yeah, I think he said when we talked to him there's going to be 5 or so.
Yeah.
And this one is a lot of establishing.
It
Like,
is.
you get the characters, you kind of get a sense of the world, but you don't know how everything's going to tie together.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like it's set for tragedy.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh boy.
Probably
yeah.
not going to end well. In one wonderful Easter egg in it, the main character in it goes into the club Crimson from Sunstone, and the cast of Sunstone is just hanging out there.
Nice.
And I was like,
Yeah.
oh fuck, same universe.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
did it. But yeah, highly recommended. If that's your thing, if that's your kink, and even if it's not, like, as we've said before, come for the eroticism, stay for the heart.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Also, Stjepan, if we're not in it soon,
Oh,
We're
boy.
done professionally. Also, thank you for the huge boost on that last one. Got a lot of views on that just exclusive interview, which was, as we said, a lot of fun.
yeah, it was really. Check it out. Like
Yeah.
a lot of good insight. If you like our banter, he folds right in.
Oh,
he
that's
could
right.
be the exclusive 5th member.
That's right.
Untitled Rex at this point.
We'll get a rock made for him.
Yeah.
Send it over.
You bet we will. He of course made the sale.
Mhm. I wish you're not stopping them. What else do we read, Troy?
Well,
We
we
teased sex criminals.
did, and I would like to say I finished.
Oh,
Wow!
You and me both. Probably at the same time, which I've heard is the best way to do it.
Wouldn't know.
We'll see if it happens
Yeah.
one of these days.
So in a previous episode, we covered 1 through 5 of Sex Criminals.
Yep, because that was all that was released at
That's
that
right.
point.
And we're like, where does it go from here? Well, since then, Volume 6, Six Criminals,
Yep.
has come out and concluded their whole story, Matt Fraction and Chip Zdarsky,
Oh.
which, my God, is a dream team.
Chip is something else.
It is
Yeah.
I'm so
amazing.
jealous of Chip. No one should be that talented and funny.
Yeah, fuck him.
Yep.
For real. But yeah, I actually finished it this morning.
You want to know something? So did I.
Oh,
Wow. Closest I've ever come.
You're in my world
Yes.
now, baby.
You know what? Got a little bit of a thrill from it. Got a little mahogany.
That's oh my God, you guys.
That's what I do it
edge
for.
over here.
Yeah.
Just thrill.
Right
Yep.
on the cusp.
Honestly, I thought I've read this already. I'm gonna thumb through it just to refresh myself. Thumb through the first 2 pages. I haven't read this at all. I should probably do that. We're reviewing it today.
Yeah. And I did spring this on you yesterday. I was like, show's feeling a little light. You think you can read all of Sex Criminals Volume 6?
Don't worry, I've already done it. Lying to myself.
Yeah. Well, your response was, I'll see. So I was like, well, should I start reading it
Oh,
or
God,
not?
you should have texted me yesterday. I was in a mood. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you that.
All right, I didn't want to push it. Didn't want you to maybe not show up today.
But we did it.
My
did
favorite
it.
thing that you've gone on, this is the second episode we filmed today where you're like, I'm pretty sure I've read this, and then you just found out you hadn't. So, I love it.
But yeah, Six Criminals
Six Criminals.
concludes the Sex Criminal story.
Mm-hmm.
It follows pretty close to where we left off, which
Yep.
I thought it kind of left off at like an odd kind of cliffhanger.
Yeah, they kind of got their gang together to take down the big bad.
Right. Everybody in this whole group has the ability to go into the quiet.
When they climax.
when they come, they can stop time and
Mhm.
kind of do whatever while they're in this like euphoric state, and other people get there by different means. But it really deals with Suze and Vidal, because she goes to meet him, like the big bad of this
Yep.
whole series, you find out, to like figure out like, why do I keep having visions of you?
Mm-hmm.
Because that just happens in this volume,
Right, she's
pretty
getting
much.
futuristic visions. This one, I mean, it shouldn't be a surprise, because Fraction likes to deal with very heady subject matter in, like, comedy books.
Mhm.
And a lot of this was about trauma that I
Yeah.
thought was really interesting. In this whole thing, she keeps saying, like, you know, is it possible to have trauma even though you haven't, like,
Experienced
experienced
traumatizing things.
Yeah, traumatizing events.
Yeah.
And I thought that was, like, a very good stance on it, because everyone kind of has their own shit they're dealing with, and
Right.
like we've just been brought up to say like, well, these are traumatic events, and if you haven't had any of these, you're fine.
Yeah.
And it was just more like just trying to like be introspective and be like, are you fine? Like, what do you need to get fine? Like,
Right.
you know, just like look deeper, understand yourself, and
It's gotta be Miles.
yeah, he's having a blast. He's having a ball up there. And that ends up putting her face to face with the main bad guy, and he thinks she's like a god because he saw her in like kind of this weird, almost Dr. Manhattan-esque moment
Yeah, like
where
a
she
weird
like kind of went,
visage of her.
yeah, like surpassed time and space.
Badal, he found out that the first time he ever was able to do this, he saw the future. Like, he came so hard, and he saw the future, and he realizes that there's a dichotomy of everything, so he's like, if I do it even harder,
Yeah.
I could probably go to the past and
And change.
change things.
Yes.
And you find out that he's collecting all this, like, erotic energy
Yes.
from all these people who can have this ability in order to store it in a machine, in order to, like, tube suck himself into, like, the biggest orgasm ever
Yes.
Wow.
in order to accomplish this.
Yeah.
It's a far-fetched idea that does work.
It is such a weird turn of how this book is, because for the most part, the book is pretty grounded.
Yeah.
And then this goes into, like, a full, like, time and space, transversing.
Yeah.
And I don't know how this would have felt if I read it, like, right after the last one, because
Yeah.
there's been a lot of time between them.
Yes.
But it's still, like, all the time and space stuff, that's just plot, you know?
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
like, the message and, you know, the relationship stuff and how Suze and John end up together or don't end up together and all of that, that was, I think, what the series is really about.
Yeah.
And that resonated with me, and I thought it was a really solid book.
And in this volume, they introduce, like, two characters, like, right at the beginning, because they must have known, it's like, this is way heavier than the other volumes,
Yeah.
that, like, they are, like, the comedy
The
bit
comic relief.
that you get at the very beginning of, like, every issue, like, hey, these aren't as funny as the other ones, so
Yeah.
we're gonna be your comedy relief right at the beginning,
Yup.
because somewhat traumatic events happen after this, or whatever. And not only that, like, they just show up at, like, a little, like, chuckle at the beginning, but then they're like the big coalescing, like, ending that everyone meets up at the end to see these two.
It is a solid series throughout. Like,
Yeah.
we just finished recording our Saga episode, the long-awaited Saga episode.
Yeah.
And then I went on and finished reading Sex Criminals. And those two back-to-back are, like, two of the books that I would recommend to anybody that isn't normally into comics.
Yeah.
I think, like, but you will like these comics.
Yes.
They're both very sexual in nature,
They
but,
both
like,
are,
but they're so funny and they're so clever.
Even though, like, the total goofy, because I think Sex Criminals is goofier than Saga somehow.
Yeah.
Just by, like,
Yeah.
the nature of, like, the people who created it.
Yeah.
Like, it is just a funnier book.
Mm-hmm.
But they deal still with human emotions and how people connect.
Oh, yeah.
Like, emotionally and sexually and all that kind of stuff. It is...
Yeah, it gets very deep.
It does, like, take a turn in this where it does deal with, like, trying to come the hardest to get into wherever. But then at one point, Suze realizes Badal thinks, like, she's a god. The way he... Like,
He is so fucking awful.
he is awful. The
Gets
way...
off on cruelty.
Yeah, he
That
gets...
was his
The
kink.
only way he can get to the quiet is to be cruel to somebody while he's getting off.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, the way, like, he has a partner for a while. The way he would just lead him on emotionally and then get married to him and then, like, while they're on their, like, fucking wedding night, just saying, like, fuck you, you suck, I want my ring back, while he's, like, coming in him.
Yeah.
To, like,
Just to get him to the quiet.
to get him to this place to, like, enable to, like, try to get to this god figure he saw when he was in a frat. Like, it's horrible shit.
Yeah.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. And the
That's how
only
Neil
reason
comes.
the only reason at the end on how he can even get to this massive explosion where he's at, he realizes he kind of made what he perceives as a god cry.
Yeah.
Because Suze is, like, upset of what he's talking about. And he's like, hold on, keep crying.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm gonna
God!
come.
Hooks himself up to these, like, fucking nipple suckers and dick suckers. And, like, just this massive explosion happens. Ensues, and him just disappear for a period of time.
Yep.
And John, like, kind of distraught. He tries to take it to him as well and destroy everything that he owns.
Yes.
By going to his mansion and fucking up literally every object in his house.
Takes him like days. Like he goes in there and like goes into the kitchen and like bends every fork. Like smashes every counter, everything. Like every piece of everything he destroys.
Yeah.
So this launched a long time ago. And it's only 30 issues, maybe? Around that. It had a long-ass hiatus, just like Saga. But, like, goddamn, Fraction and Zdarsky blew up during this, too.
Yeah.
I can't believe, like, we got even an ending on this.
Right.
With how many other projects they were attached to at this time.
Funny enough, it ends on the issue 69.
Yes.
Oh, man.
But it was like 27, 28, 29, 69. That's how they numbered it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love Sex Criminals. I could go for a reread of it.
Yeah, and I think it would
Whenever.
probably be better upon a reread, at least in getting like a full scope of the ending.
Yeah.
Consistently like one of the most hilarious books I've ever read though.
Yeah.
Every issue of this
100%.
is so fucking funny.
I told
like
my
funnier than any other comic I think I've ever read.
I told my wife, like, you would love Sex Criminals, and she said, excuse me. Rounding out the show, in the climax that it is, we also read Money Shot by Tim Seeley and Sarah Beattie.
That's it.
This book, like, I follow her on Twitter, and that's how I realized it was a thing.
Yeah.
And then I realized she was actually, like, teamed with a comic person I should have known first.
Yeah.
Tim Seeley.
Yeah.
And like, oh, okay, wow. Rebecca Isaacs, also.
Oh, kills it.
Amazing. I've never seen anything from her before.
Me neither.
And I love the artwork in this. It is super crisp.
Yes.
And everything is everything is on point.
Yep.
I love it. But anyway, if anyone is not aware what the story is in this, it's pretty much like society at a point becomes so fucking desensitized to everything that these scientists create pretty much like a science-y OnlyFans to fund their research into like dimensional travel.
Yeah.
And with that, they like, while they're film like OnlyFans content,
they're gathering data and like learning about other cultures and doing like actual scientific work while fucking their way
in
through
the
all
guise
these
of
planets.
fucking through it.
It is a brilliant concept.
Yeah, it really is. And it is funny. It also is heartfelt. Like, there's a relationship forged through this. There's also relationship strife through this.
Yeah.
It's
really, really smart, too.
It really is.
I have no idea which one of them, or if both of them together, have, like, that much of a background on science. Or they're just really good at, like, looking shit up and researching it.
Yeah.
But, like, I was astonished at, like, how detailed some of that scientific mumbo-jumbo is in this, where I'm like, shit, I could just skip that. That doesn't mean anything to me. Get back to the fucking, I guess.
I finished Volume 2. Volume 2 adds in the President of the United States
Oh boy.
as a character who is a Trump analog.
Yes.
Who is just a shithead. And he is actually a fun character to read at the point that he's awful.
I really enjoyed like the pitch of this. Like the idea, and it makes perfect sense that like the world doesn't want science and they're so burned out by normal porn that the only way they can trick people into funding science is to show them the most fucked up porn that they've never seen before.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking alien.
We're just gonna go and fuck everything, and like we should probably all fuck each other first just to get that out of the way and make sure nothing's weird, and then we're just gonna go. We're gonna go and bang everything that moves.
Yeah. It's great.
Super topical, very progressive, and makes a lot of great critiques about everything that we've all just lived through.
Yeah. Ironically enough, that was like one of my favorite reads of the last couple of years. Like,
one of the few that you actually kept up on issue to issue.
I don't know, for whatever reason, this one just really struck me as like, yeah, I'll read the next issue that comes out.
See what they fuck next.
I'll skip all these Spider-Mans and Batmans or whatever. I just want to read something like this. And so, yeah, it was like, I guess 2021 and 20 was The year of sex for me.
It sure was.
In books.
Yeah, definitely books.
I think Tim Seeley and Sarah Beattie are writing a Superman Lobo book right now for DC's
That's
label.
kind of awesome.
Yeah, and the comic shop guy that I go to, he said it's great. He's like, it is hilarious, it's really good, and I'm like, really? A Superman Lobo book is great. And he told me he was writing it, I was like, oh yeah, okay. Well, it's probably not what you would expect out of a Superman Lobo book then.
I imagine you want to check it out.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. But Lobo also comes off as like Deadpool to me sometimes, so like,
kind of.
we'll see.
Yeah, but I mean, he calls people bastages.
Bastages. Greg Capullo, Deadpool.
Oh man, but what a wild ride we had this Valentine's Day, huh?
Oh my God.
My lord.
Look at that.
And then some imperious sex. To be fair, I would love a Valentine's Day episode every single year.
You know,
Valentine's Day special.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
We'll put it in.
Yep.
We'll put it in.
Hopefully the next volume of Sunstone will be out by then, and we can take another look back at that. Because after chatting with Stjepan, I was very intrigued on Mercy, which is the next 3-volume chunk.
Yeah.
And I even ran it past the Imperius Rex business manager. She's a little intrigued too.
Wow.
So
okay.
we might send the kids to the grandparents and
Okay.
read some Sunstone.
Read some books.
Read some books.
Good deal.
I'm also curious on keeping up on fine print because that was very nice.
Yeah. And the cool thing about his and Linda, his wife's books are, they're, like we said, they are webcomics. So you can read them for free as they make them before they're even collected.
Yeah.
Which is very cool.
Yeah.
I can't think of anyone else that does anything like that.
Right.
And I haven't really looked that hard, but I don't imagine there's many that do.
He's like one of the only ones that I can think of that like got his start that way.
And just by chatting with him too, he like knows what his ending is. He's got an ending in sight. So like all the stuff, I can't wait for like the build up to be paying off here and there and there, you know.
Mm-hmm. Wait for that money shot.
Can't wait for that just release. Thank you for joining us, everybody, on our Valentine's Day extravaganza. If you would like to chat us up about some other maybe Valentine's Day treats that we should dip into, let us know in the comments down below.
I was toying with Black Hole.
Oh, yeah.
We will get to it.
I
don't know if it's a Valentine's Day episode, but I definitely want to read Black Hole.
Black Hole is a good book.
Yep.
Let's save it
Fucking
for
in
another
it,
day.
But it's
Yeah,
a very different kind of fucking.
It is not a fun type of fucking book.
Probably wouldn't be wearing this for Black Hole.
If you'd like access to a conversation 24/7, hey, that's happening in our Discord. You know how you can get there? Just a simple donation to our Patreon account.
That's right. Just
What?
$5 simple.
$5 simple. Not only does it give you early access to these episodes, but it also gives you access to the whole community we've crafted in our Discord, which is honestly where it's going on.
Wonderful.
my God.
Wonderful people.
Just
Wonderful
the
people.
most
Yeah.
incredible folks.
Yeah,
Yep.
It's an amazing place to be. If you would like to buy merch if you want, such as this t-shirt, which I own,
Or this t-shirt.
or this t-shirt, which Neil owns, and I also own.
Wow. Brag.
You can find that at redbubble.com. And, as always, I've been Short of the Max Extreme.
I've been Dinosaur Neil.
Ghost Hunter Dave.
And this has been a sexy version of Imperius Rex.
Sizzling hot.
And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
You ever had a really good orange?
A really good orange?
Yeah.
No, can't say I have.
Yeah.
A really good orange. Like you ate it and you're like, fuck, that's so good. That's
I could
better
die.
than clementine.
Have you ever had a really good peach?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Squirt.
Yeah. Biting into that fuzzy flesh, just juices dripping down your chin.
God.
You eat the pit.
Troy, don't get me too horned up here. I think might be showing. Hey, Padre. Mahogany.
Well, oh yeah, so we watched this old John Carpenter movie called Vampires.
John Carpenter's Vampires.
Okay.
And James Woods is the main character in it, so you already are like, God damn it. But he said he makes a million boner jokes, and it's great. And
It's like a character trait.
Yeah.
It is like one of his
like-
defining personalities.
one thing we did take away from it though is like that we want to start saying is it's like instead of getting wood, he's like, oh, you got some mahogany down there?
Hey, Padre.
Yeah, Padre.
Padre, got a
They
little
give you a
mahogany?
mahogany?
It's pretty good.
Very interested in other men's penis.
Like
the hardness of other penises.
The last lines of the movie, they're like killing. They just got done killing vampires. Like, someone you killed that vampire. Did you get you hard? He's like, Jesus Christ, man.
But then the priest is like, yeah, you know what it did?
Yeah.
It did give me a little hard.
Yeah.
A little half-mast there.
God, a little mahogany.
A little mahogany all around. 3 mahoganies. Sprucing up the place.
Whoa! Spruce mahogany and a poplar over here. Poplar this boner. Was that recording? Please say it was.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
it's all good. That could be
Yeah.
left out. You know what I found out about woods? What's a hardwood and a softwood? Pines are all softwoods.
Yeah.
All deciduous trees, hardwoods. Even a balsa is considered a hardwood.
That's bullshit, because that's soft as shit.
Take it up with the wood commission.
I'll call him. I'll tell him tomorrow during our call.
Anyway, let's get the episode started.
Show on the road.
Tim Seeley and Sarah Beattie.
Yep.
Beattie?
Beatty. Beatty. You want to say that again?
Yes. We also Tim Seeley and Tim. Sorry.
Just say her name. I'll just put it in.
Sarah Beattie.
That's it.